I'm going to give some reality to the silver markets. And know a lot of people think everything's rigged with the silver markets, and that's been the consensus of, I don't want to call them pump and dumpers, you can call them whatever you want, but basically the most popular people that are talking about investing in silver. You know, there's been a big electronic conspiracy since, I don't know, the late 70s or something, since the price crashed, and everything's electronic and it's being rigged. Well, I'm going to have to point out some common sense things with this, and also about silver being monetized again. It's very unlikely, very unlikely. But don't get me wrong, silver's an excellent investment. Silver's going to go way up. Silver's also a very good hedge against inflation. If they have to keep printing money, silver's a vital commodity. It's going to go up, and it's a very convenient storage of wealth. And you know, considering also that a lot of people really can't afford to buy gold, they'll buy silver. So the middle class is going to buy a lot of silver. So there's going to be a lot of buying pressure, and there's a lot of buying pressure going on throughout the world. But as far as silver being money again in a true sense, no. And as far as even our currency being based in a large measure upon silver, it becomes about for a reset, no. As far as the markets being like solely rigged in a way that they're talking about, like in other words, the price of silver should be much, much higher because it's being suppressed severely, that's not true either. And I think the price is actually exaggerated movements where it goes up too high and goes down too high. And a lot of that is caused by leverage. But let me point out some common sense things about this. First off, this is silver wheaten, so this gives you a very good indication. Well, let's look at the income statement. This gives you a very good indication what goes on in the silver industry. Now, in 2009, this is 2009. You can see there were, 117 million net income. Right, they were making money in 2009, even at those prices. 2010, vastly increased income, $153 million. And in 2011, where silver was over $40 for some parts of the year, it more than tripled. It more than tripled, like 3.5 times, no problem. $550 million net income. So, I mean, does that mean the price of silver is suppressed? I mean, that's what's going on. I mean, the spot price is dictating, what these people are getting for revenue, right? So does that mean it's being artificially suppressed? If it was artificially suppressed, the silver miners wouldn't make any money and they wouldn't produce it, and then it would be a shortage. It was like there's no government controls on this or anything like that. They're saying silver has to be at a certain amount of money. I mean, that is the contention. They're saying like through the government, J.P. Morgan is shorting silver and causing the price to be artificially suppressed. That's not true. What went on this year actually is, QE basically ran out, so there's a correction period going on, and it's going to heat up again. Silver's going to go back up again, but nothing to do with the reasons these people are talking about. Silver wheaten's a very good example because it's a lot of companies included. So again, cash position. Look how much it changed from 2010 to 2011, right? Major difference, right? From 2009, actually, this is actually January 1st, 2010, so December 31st, 2009. So the cash position almost doubled inside of a year, and then it almost doubled again. That's a hell of a lot better. When you're sitting on a lot of cash, it's very, very good, and you can operate a lot smoother. So there's no bottlenecks due to something, people not getting paid on time or anything like that. It makes a business operation work that much smoother. But you can see they're making more money. Their cash position's up a lot higher. So, to argue that silver must be at least about $100 an ounce and it's being suppressed, does not make any sense because the miners wouldn't be making money, right? It's going to go up. I mean, don't, people are going to get pissed off for me saying this. It's going to go up because I'm saying that it's not suppressed the way people think. I think the markets are like driven high and low, and the volatility is part of the game that goes on in the markets to actually screw people over, to smaller people over. But I think there's games going on that way. But basically, the price is pretty much where it should be. And as Ben Bernanke starts printing more money, it's going to go way the hell up. I don't have any faith in the fiat dollar long term. No, he's going to print too much money and he's going to probably ruin it. I also want to get on to something else too, talking about silver being monetized again. It's not going to be monetized again. I can almost guarantee you that. What would happen is probably, like, in effect, even though we have this fiat money system, in effect, it's backed by oil. In effect. The game is kind of running out, though, because nobody seems to be wanting holding the hot potato U.S. dollar. And also China, they have to bend over backwards to satisfy China and give them direct access to the bond markets. So a lot of this stuff actually is coming to an end. And actually the Fed already is buying up, 6 years already the government's buying up its own debt. It's already going on with more than 50% of the debt issued. It's already going on. So the end of the game is actually near. But what that means is that commodities in general are going to go up. Silver probably will be one of the better ones that's going to go up very well too. But I can also state, probably something like coffee is probably going to go up pretty well too. Even though that's a small part of the market. Just that you don't want to be storing coffee. That's like not an easily tradable thing. So silver actually is a very good investment. It's going to go up because the fiat dollar is going to get printed into oblivion. Probably. I don't know. Maybe some years down the road, but it probably is going to get really pushed down a lot as far as the value of it. But what would come about is it's probably what you're probably going to see when there's a new currency. It's probably going to be based upon, just like this S&P Goldman Sachs Commodity Index components is listing here, more on the energy sector. The energy sector accounts for 78%. Agriculture and livestock accounts for a little over 13%. Industrial base metals account for 6%. And precious metals account for less than 2%. Whereas silver is only a tiny fraction of that. It's a very tiny market. Even David Morgan tells you it's a very tiny market. So if they're going to come out with a new currency, I don't think silver is going to play a major role in the actual monetization or backing that currency. But that does not mean it's not going to go up a lot. It probably is going to go up a lot. But there's a lot of myths from people talking a lot of different things out there that are not correct in any fashion. Now, also, if you look on the performance of the S&P Goldman Sachs Commodity Index over the last year to date, it's down 10%. So commodities have been faring pretty bad, and that's really what's going on throughout all the commodities. Now, precious metals are up slightly from the beginning of the year, overall. Like if you look at, you expand this, gold is up 3%, silver's up 1.7%. Talking about from January 1st. It's from January 1st as of today. But, people are saying about the price suppression of gold and silver. Look what's going on in all the commodities. See, they're actually, every other commodity is actually down, right? Energy's down, right? Industrial metals are down. Energy's down like about 12%. Industrial metals are down 4.5%. Agriculture's down 10.6%. Livestock's down 3.8%. And the precious metals are actually up almost 3% from January 1st. So where's the price suppression? You see? What we got is a tightening of policy, monetary policy. When he pushes QE these precious metals are going to go up a lot faster than everything else. They will. But, people are making these extremely irrational statements saying that the banks, HSBC and JP Morgan, are suppressing the precious metals prices. I don't know, people. I'm telling you right now. I look at that stuff myself, and I just look at him like, what is this jerk saying? He's an idiot. I already know the deal. I've been around. I mean, I could smell God. I mean, I don't know how to say this because people just don't want to believe it. They do play games. I think the way they play games is that they'll move things up a little faster or move things down a little faster. Plus, they probably know inside information as to what news stories are going to be coming out a little bit early. And actually, when they see them, when they raise margins, I think there's people that know what's going to happen too ahead of time, and they're already positioned to act. I think there's stuff like that goes on. But as far as overall holding back silver and gold, no, the miners are making money. They're making good money on this stuff, very good money. They're making more money they've made in years. So, I mean, if they were holding it back, like Uncle Sam says, the price of silver is $30 and it can't go any higher, and gold has to be $1,600 or whatever, and the miners weren't making any money, and it created a shortage, well, then you'd have a separation between a spot and physical. I'm just warning you people because I don't, when people are actually telling you this stuff, I don't know what their game is, but either they're lying or they're complete idiots. Really. I mean, I don't know what the hell, I don't know how to say it. The miners just wouldn't, it's almost like you look at the wage and price controls from Nixon had or something like that. If you said, that creates shortages. When government comes out and says something has to be fixed at a price, they did this in Russia, in Soviet Union, communist nations. They would say the price is such and such, so the shelves would be bare. But there's plenty of silver out there. See, you can go anywhere and buy silver. It's easy to buy, and nobody's running out. And at times, sometimes there's a coin shortage, an end product shortage, when people are panic buying. But even so, the miners have plenty of silver. So, I mean, it's going to go up, but I think people are I think people are being told a bunch of garbage, though, in other areas. But just, don't worry about it not going up. It's going to go up. But I think the next scam is they're probably going to say it's going to go straight to 100, and I don't think it is. I think it's probably going to, I'm thinking about low 70s or something like that is where it's going to get knocked back down again hard. But just beware what these guys are telling you, because I don't know how the hell they can. I don't understand how the hell people could be buying that bullshit. No way in hell. No way in hell. If there's a government conspiracy to suppress the price of silver and gold, the mining companies, if it was too low, the mining companies wouldn't be making money, and they're making a hell of a lot of money. Right now, it's just a tightening of credit. Tightening of monetary policy and stuff like that. So it'll change. God, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's very simple, actually. It's not complicated at all.